when you're like gluten sensitive, or say if you have like celiac disease or you're gluten sensitive in your body, it basically has an immune response towards that gluten molecule, the gluten protein.
What would some of those immune reactions be to gluten that people are getting?
Well, like brain fog, digestive upset, diarrhea. The big ones are like neurological issues.
Okay.
Yeah, it can really mess up the brain. Basically, what gluten does as well is that the other gliadin molecule in gluten basically stimulates a tight junctional protein in your gut called zonulin, and it basically like stimulates it and opens it up, and then allows for the gut to become more permeable, which is like, it's normal for your gut to be a little bit permeable every now and then. It's meant to close back up. But if you're consuming gluten daily, like there's no way that your gut's going to heal back up. It's going to always be permeable, and this is why gluten is a big problem for most people. And then if you're sensitive to the gluten protein, then you've actually got other tissues in your body that has a very similar structure to the gluten protein, which is a part of your brain called the cerebellum. But if you've got like a immune response towards the gluten protein, and then these B cells are floating around looking for the gluten protein to get it out of the body, to tag it, to get rid of it, and then these B cells, they swim past the cerebellum, and they swim past and go, oh, I recognize that's very similar to the structure of gluten. Let's tag it. And then they tag it for destruction because it's very similar in amino acid profile. Like the structure of it is very similar. Then the T cells swim past when they're basically active, which is the killer cells. They destroy the tissue, they kill it, they get rid of it. They swim past, they go, oh, that's tagged for the gluten protein, what we're looking for. Let's start to attack that tissue, that organ. So that part of the brain starts to get damaged and broken down. But this is basically autoimmune. It's called molecular mimicry. So it's like basically tissues and organs are very similar in structure to certain food groups. They have the amino acid sequence is very, very close. And the body can't differentiate, and it just basically starts to tag things and attack it. And the thyroid gland cops it hard too. But that's a big problem nowadays. Look up molecular mimicry, and you'll find a lot on that.
It's a fascinating topic, and I love the way that you break that down there. You know, the cerebellum being involved in motor movement, coordination, postural control, like the subconscious postural pathways. The consumption of gluten actually limits the blood flow to the neocortex of the brain for up to 6 hours in certain individuals if they get an inflammatory response. So, you know, if you cut off blood flow to your decision-making brain and logic centers of the brain,